Welcome to the vulnerability analysis section. So we covered scanning and we managed to discover a bunch of information about our target, and right now we are going to use that information to discover whether a target has some vulnerabilities. We are going to cover 3 different tools in this section, and the first is going to be an already familiar tool, which is Nmap. We are going to tackle a subject on Nmap scripting. By now we learned that Nmap is used for scanning target, but Nmap can also be used for vulnerability analysis. In some cases, it can even perform exploitation with the help of different scripts. As this is advanced use of Nmap, we should first explain what Nmap scripts are. Well, Nmap scripts are commonly used to detect service vulnerabilities, and it can also be used for brute force attacks, and it can be used to detect malware on a target machine. It is also used to collect even more information about databases and other network services. So we can consider this lecture to be half scanning and half vulnerability analysis. However, the goal of this lecture will not be vulnerability analysis, but to show how we can run the scripts. And before we even run them, we need to know what are our available options. So what are the scripts and how we run them? Go ahead, open up your terminal, and inside of Kali Linux machine you can find all the scripts that Nmap has in this directory, which is change directory /user. By the way, we can find the Nmap scripts in here. We can navigate to this directory, which is user /share /nmap /scripts. And if I type ls, you can see the scripts that Nmap has. You can see there are a lot of them right here. There are many of them right here that we can see. By the way, these scripts that are here are the single script names. Don't worry, we will explain what these single script names are. Let us test some of them and see whether they give us any information about our target. Now, running scripts comes with 2 different options. We can either specify one single script to use in a scan, or we can specify a group of scripts. And to fully understand all possible things that we can do with scripts using Nmap, we should take a look at this page right here. And the page is right here. So go for Firefox, and this page will help you to know more about Nmap scripts. As you can see right here, let me scroll all the way up. These are the uses and examples, and these are the script categories. And this says that NAC, which is the Nmap script engines, define a list of categories they belong. Currently defined categories are the auth, the broadcast, the brute, default, discovery, and so on and so on. So these categories, these are the scripts that use in Nmap. As I have said, there are 2 ways. There are the groups and the names, and this can be the auths. So let's try to see this group name, which is the auth. So this script deals with authentication credentials by passing them on a target system. Examples include X11 access, FTP unknown, and Oracle enemy users. The script which use brute force attacks to determine credentials are placed in a brute force category. So this is one of the categories of script group, and this right here are the single script names. So try to look on about this page and find out what the Nmap scripts are. Okay, now that we know about this, let us start with the first Nmap script group, and I'm going to choose the auth. So go ahead and open up your terminal, and let me clear this, and just simply type the command sudo nmap --script and the script's group name, which is auth, and your target's IP address. In this part we are going to do the scan with our metasploitable. So my target IP address will be 192.168.88.247, So this scan will do a Nmap script with the auth group name. So if I press enter here and type in my password, give it a second. As a matter of fact, to make it fast, let me do a scene scan with it. So if I type the command that is before and do a scene scan, okay, it's done. Finishing scan right now, and let me go ahead what the result is or are. Okay, what we did with the FTP is we see that FTP unknown, and it is telling us that anonymous FTP login is allowed. This tells us that the anonymous FTP login is allowed. And what does this mean? Well, this is something that we'll cover later, but for now just keep in mind that the anonymous login is allowed for the port 21. And let's go ahead to see what other scripts we found in the SSH section, which is the port 21, and it's telling us that accepted public keys, no public keys accepted, and the supported authentication methods are public key and password, and this can be useful for us in the exploration part, but for now just notice that the support authentication method is allowed. And if I scroll all the way down here in the MySQL part, it is some scripts right here, and it managed to find a root account on a target system, and it tells us that root account has empty password, and this can be very useful to us. And let me see what else it found. Okay, in this section, in the 8180 port, it's telling us that it's found Tomcat, and this can be credentials. And if I see right here, Tomcat and Tomcat can be valid credentials, and this can be very useful to us. So why don't we go ahead and check this out? So to check it out whether these credentials are valid or not, I'm gonna test it out. So go ahead to your browser and type 192.168.88.247 and then colon, and after that you enter the port in which the vulnerability is found, and that port is right here, which is the 8180. So I'm gonna enter 8180, and if I press enter here, it will take me to this page, which is the Apache Tomcat server, and you can find out a lot about this. And what is interesting to us is this administration part, and if I click right here, it will take me to Tomcat web server. So the username is Tomcat, and if the password is Tomcat, of course it tells us that the valid credentials are Tomcat and then colon Tomcat, and this tells us that the username is Tomcat and the password is Tomcat. So if I enter Tomcat here and try to log in, voila. Okay, sorry, I think I have entered the wrong password here. Let me try it again. Tomcat. Sorry, let me try it again. Okay, I'm logging into the web server right here and found out that the vulnerability is exploitable with the valid credentials that was found with the authentication script group. And we can see that there are user database here, environment interface. Of course this is empty because we are testing out this on a test mission, but for this we find out that the port 8180 has a vulnerability in the Tomcat Apache server. Okay, let's go ahead and try to do another script group, and I'm going to choose the malware. So just simply type in the previous used command, but just use in here malware, and this is another script group. And if I press enter here, it will try to give me a result and we'll see how it can come up. Okay, great. It managed to find a script right here, which is in the FTP, and this tells us that the FTP, which is the SFTP backdoor, is found, and it's telling us that it's vulnerable, and the vulnerability is found in this version. And this backdoor tells us that there is a malware or a backdoor that is installed in the Metasploitable, and this can be exploitable. And also the exploit results, it managed to find the shell command, which is the ID, and it found the root account right here, and this can be very helpful to us. And let's try another script group, and the group will be banner. So simply just change this. So what are banners? Banners are simply what OpenPort will give us information once we connect it, and this information can be disclosed, and there can be like the exact version of software that are running on OpenPort. So if I press enter here, and let's see what results it can come up with. So generally the banner script group will give us information disclosure, and this information disclosure can be finding the exact version of software that's running on OpenPort. Okay, let me scroll all the way down up, and in this banner the version is right here, which is the VSFTPD 2.3 2.4, and the SSH is 2.0 that is using. And sometimes the banner will give us in this format, but don't worry, I will explain it to this in the next part. But basically this banner gives you like information disclosures. And also let's try to see another banner script, and that script group is exploit. So run the previous command just and change this to exploit, and this exploit will try to find some vulnerabilities which are the target system, and it will give you the vulnerability result. But if you want to find out more about this, go to the webpage of the Nmap and see how we can come up and try to find the explanation for this. So I'm gonna press enter here, and we will see what vulnerabilities it can find with this script group name, which is the exploit. So we can see that this FTP is vulnerable, and the version is this one right here, and there is a backdoor possibility that we can solve. And in this CVE, which is the CVE 2011-25-23, and you will find this when you are trying to find vulnerabilities and exploits, and these are just a level for this particular vulnerability, and it's telling us that it was found in 2011, and this is its ID for anybody to notice it and search it on the internet. So this exploit part will try to find vulnerabilities, and I think this is the most important script group name that we can try to scan with Nmap. And we can also see that the NCMTP, there is a vulnerability with this label, and it was found back in 2010, and its ID is this one. And let's try to see what else it found in the HTTP section, which is the port 80, and it found the following possible SRF vulnerabilities. But don't worry about this, we'll be covering this in the web penetration testing. Okay, great. This is some of the script groups that we can run. Of course, we are not going to run them all in this video. There is a lot of them, and try to look up on the website, or you can find out by running the manual page of Nmap and try to find out what these options or what these scripts can do. And now let us see how we can run on single scripts. Let me get back to my other Linux machine, and to find out the single scripts, you can navigate to this directory, which is /user/share/nmap/scripts, And if I type ls, these are the single Nmap scripts, and let's see how we can come up with. So let me make it bigger here. So there are a lot of them right here, and you can try to find out the vulnerability has and see what you can exploit it. By the way, to not blindly run the scripts, you can find out about what scripts do by running the command right here. So let me just get out of this. You can just run sudo nmap --script -help and the single script name. For example, I'm going to choose this one right here. I'm going to copy and paste it here, and you can find out what this single script can do. And if I press enter here, I'm going to type in my password. So this is category vulnerability safe, and this script checks whether a target machine are vulnerable to anonymous front page login. Okay, let's try out with a single script nmap. So I'm gonna basically what you can do is you can type in the same command. Let me get back to this terminal here, and to make it clear, I'm gonna press Ctrl L. Let's try with a single nmap script, and let's try out. We already know that will give us an output, and that one is a FTP unknown. So the command will be sudo nmap --script and the script name, which is ftp unknown.nse. By the way, this NSE is just an extension file, and your target's IP address 192.168.88.247. They are basically the same, just in this part we are using the single script name. By the way, instead of writing just --script, to make it short, you can just type in small letter s and capital C. You can use this to make it short for the script part. But for now, I'm just going to press enter. It managed to found with the FTP unknown, and here is the result. And it says anonymous FTP login unlocked. So I'm curious to find out what this vulnerability we can do. We can find out by just trying to connect to the target machine, and we can connect it with FTP. Just type in FTP and the target's IP address, which is 192.168.88.247, and I'm gonna press enter, and it's gonna ask me for the name, and the name is gonna be anonymous, and the password is gonna be a random password, and for this part I'm gonna choose password 123, and it's successful. It says that login is successful. On remote system type is Unix, and we can use binary mode to transfer files. So to find out what other available options we have, we can type in the help command, and this commands that we can run on target system. Okay, great. It seems that FTP anonymous login is indeed allowed, but once again, more about FTP vulnerabilities in the exploitation section. For now, we did vulnerability analysis, and we managed to find some vulnerabilities like the Tomcat administration login. The FTP port 21 showed to also be vulnerable. Remember, when we ran the Nmap script group, it told us that it's exploitable. Okay, awesome. In the next video, let us also see what else we can find using other vulnerability analysis tools, and see you there.